Now let's start thinking about our database tables and models. We already have our user table ready. Let's think of the next table to create. The first feature of our app is for instructors to be able to schedule classes. That means we need to have a schedule classes table. This will be associated with the schedule class model. So a scheduled class can be created, viewed, or deleted if you think of it that way. This table will have an ID as a primary key and a column for the type of class like yoga, Pilates, dance fitness, and so on. And then one for the date and time of the class. This would be a date time. We also need a column for the instructor. Now this instructor will actually be one of our users. So instructor can be a foreign key. We can say instructor ID, which is a foreign key that references the user's ID, right? And let me pull this down here. And this is a one-to-many relationship. That is, one instructor can schedule many classes. Next, the type column cannot be a string because we need more information about the type of class like description, duration, and so on. So let's make this a separate table and let's call it class types with ID as primary key. The name of that class type, which can be a string, then a description, a string again, then duration, or we could just say minutes to be more specific, and that would be an int. And now this type column is actually a type ID, which is a foreign key that again references the class types table, the ID key. This also is a one-to-many relationship. Let me bring that down here, this right here, so you can see it better. This is a one-to-many relationship because one class type can belong to multiple scheduled classes. Alright, this is our main set of tables. In future videos, we'll create one more table for booking a class. But for now, this is good to start off with. So head over to the terminal and let's create our first model along with the migration for class types. Sale, artisan, make model, class type. And let me add a -m flag so that the migration is created as well. Okay, model and migration created. Let's open them both. This is the migration, open the model class type. In the migration, let me add the other columns needed. String column for the name of the class type. A string column again for the description. Let's add an integer column for the minutes or the duration. Great, back to the terminal. Let's create another model and migration for our scheduled classes. Sale, artisan, make model, scheduled class. Done. Let's open them too, the migration, and then open the scheduled class model. In the migration, let's first add the instructor foreign ID. We can use the foreign ID method. The column name is instructor ID. And we have to change this with the constraint method, specifying the table as users because we have changed the name to instructor ID. We wouldn't need this if we called it user ID, but if we call it user ID, it's going to confuse us because this is only an instructor, not a member. Let's use another foreign ID. Let's create another one. Foreign ID. This is for the class type. Let's say class type ID, constraint, and we don't have to specify the table here because it's already in the name. Lastly, we need a date time column. Date time. Let's call this date underscore time. This is good. Now run the migrations. Clear. Sale, artisan, migrate. Alright, let's verify if our tables are created correctly. Refresh. We have our scheduled class. Yes, instructor ID, class type ID. If you want, you can check the structure and note that they both are foreign keys. But we needed one more thing. We have to make this date time unique. So let me change that. I will roll back the migration and then go back here and let's just say unique because we don't want two classes to be scheduled at the same date and time, right? Now migrate once again. Okay, this should be good. Let me refresh again. And yes, the date time is unique and the class types table with all the required columns. Okay, now let's go back to VS Code and let me close the migration files. And now let's define the one-to-many relationships. First, open the user model and let's define a one-to-many relationship to get all the scheduled classes of a particular instructor. So let's say public function scheduled classes. It has to be plural because we have many scheduled classes of one single instructor. Here, return, this has many scheduled classes. And now, very importantly, we have to pass in the column name instructor ID because we have changed it. If it was user ID, then we don't have to pass in the second argument, but we want to resolve this relationship through the column instructor ID. Alright, now let's define the inverse relationship in scheduled class. That is, this scheduled class belongs to a user. So public function instructor, that's better than saying just user. Return, this belongs to user. Here again, sorry, not model, user class. Here again, we need to pass the column name, which is instructor ID. Okay, now in the class type model, let's define the has many relationship with scheduled classes. So public function scheduled classes. Return, this has many scheduled classes. Now here we're using the same class type ID as the column name, so we don't have to pass the second argument. Now define the inverse relationship here again in scheduled classes. We can copy this. Instead of instructor, we want a class type, and this scheduled class belongs to class type. And remove this. Okay, so this is what we have. A scheduled class belongs to a class type and to an instructor. And a class type has many scheduled classes. An instructor also has many scheduled classes. We now have our database tables, models, and relationships ready. Let's continue building.